won't come off.
Really? Can't get it off?
It's like it's stuck to my skin.
Well, it's gonna sound pretty dumb if we have to call the fire department to come get you.
Shut up and help me!
What's up, everybody? How's it going? And thank you for tuning into the show once again. I'm your host, MJ. And of course, you know from the title, we're going to be talking about, once again, the Goosebumps Best Scares of all time. So in episode 2, I'm going to be talking about one of my most favorite books in the Goosebumps franchise, produced by R.L. Stine, and one of my favorite episodes. I'm going to be talking about none other than The Haunted Mask. Now, for you guys that don't know, for those of you guys that don't know, The Haunted Mask, book 11 came out, was published in September 1993. And the television series, the episode, was released on March 12, 1996. One of the key things, as I said, this was one of my favorite episodes. I loved it, The Haunted Mask. Now, there were more than one Haunted Mask episode. So we're talking about specifically about The Haunted Mask Part 1. As I said, this was one of my most favorite episodes. I think it was one of the best episodes and the best books of the Goosebumps franchise by R.L. Stine. I want to give major shout outs. One thing I want to majorly point out is that I like the cast of the main cast of the main character of The Haunted Mask Part 1, which was played by the young actress. Well, she's not a young actress anymore, but you guys know what I mean. But played by the young actress Catherine Long. I think Catherine Long did a hell of a job in this series, in this episode, The Haunted Mask. It was so phenomenal. I mean, I love this episode. I've watched this episode so many times. So I want to talk to you guys about a couple of things, the reasons why I like The Haunted Mask episode in the Goosebumps franchise by R.L. Stine. Most importantly, I like the backstory. The whole backstory about a young girl, Carly Beth, who buys a Halloween mask from a Halloween store. And then after putting on this mask, she starts to act differently, and then eventually realizes that she's unable to take this mask off, and it's becoming permanent, and it's becoming her permanent face. I think that was a hell of a important key factor of the backstory of this episode and also of this book. Now, what we need to know also is, before I go into a key point that I want to point out to you guys in this, I want to point out the whole concept of the reason why she purchased the Halloween mask, which come to find out, her purchasing the Halloween mask, it eventually has her acting differently, but then also she realizes that she can't take it off. I mean, that was so at that age, and when we were growing up watching the Goosebumps, man, that was so scary. Imagine yourself buying a Halloween mask and putting it on, and then you coming to realize that you can't take it off, and it's becoming permanent. That is so creepy, and it's so amazing. But now, what you guys need to know, for those of you guys that don't know, Carly Beth, played by Catherine Long, the reason why she bought the mask was to scare some of her peers, some of her classmates that had been picking on her and bullying her in school. Okay, so Carly Beth had been picked on by some of her classmates and some of her peers in school, so she decided, okay, she had enough of it. She wanted to, on Halloween night, on this particular Halloween night, she wanted to do the opposite. She wanted to scare everyone that had always been messing with her and bothering her and picking on her. So she decided to go to this Halloween store to purchase the scariest mask she could find so she can scare all of her peers that had been picking on her and teasing her, which was a good backstory, which when come to find out, when she puts on the mask, she started acting differently. And then also she realizes that after she put it on a couple of times, she can't take it off, and it's becoming permanently. I thought that was so good. So good. So that was one of the main reasons why I like this episode and also the book, because I've read all the books before the episodes even came out, the teleplay series. I had read all the books. I had a collection of the books. I don't have them anymore because I was younger back then, but I will be grabbing a whole new collection of the Goosebumps books, and I will try to start showing you guys and implement them inside of the episodes as we talk about the Goosebumps Best Scares as we continue on with this playlist in this saga. Another thing why I think that this particular episode of the Goosebumps franchise, The Haunted Mask, with the main character Carly Beth, played by Catherine Long, reason why I think it resonated and related to the majority of people is because I'm pretty sure we've all had experience like this, where if not you were the person or the victim, you knew someone that had been through situations like this, or we saw someone or seen someone being bullied or being picked on or just being messed with or teased. This is why I think that this was so relevant and this episode was so good, because it was directly relating to the majority of the masses of people, and especially us as kids growing up, regardless of when you were a kid and whenever time frame, it don't matter whether it's the 70s, 80s, 90s, or the 2000s, everyone can relate to this specific backstory of this episode. So I do say that the Haunted Mask of the Goosebumps franchise should be on the list of the best Goosebumps books, yet alone the episodic series. But anyways, a key thing that I want to point out to you guys is that what I like mostly about this backstory, and I think that it was a good job done by R.L. Stine with the book before the television show came out, is that the main character, Carly Beth, was the protagonist and the antagonist in this episode, The Haunted Mask. That's what I thought was so amazing. So, yes, as I said, it was so amazing because, like I said, the antagonist, the protagonist and the antagonist was Carly Beth, played by Catherine Long. I think that was just so good of an idea and something good, and it made it so creepy because it was almost as if the main character, Carly Beth, was fighting against herself, protagonist versus antagonist. So I thought that was just so amazing. And as I said, this was one of my favorite episodes and one of my favorite books of the Goosebumps franchise by R.L. Stine. It was just so phenomenal. And I think without a shadow of a doubt that the whole Goosebumps franchise in general, I think it played a huge factor in the 1990s, but yet alone also leading into the early 2000s. And this is why I say the Goosebumps franchise is a phenomenal series. I think R.L. Stine goes down in history. He will go down in history, or he has already gone down in history as one of the best writers of all time, or one of the most famously writers throughout history. But that's all I have for you guys. I'm curious to know what you guys think about the particular episode of The Haunted Mask. Do you think that The Haunted Mask fits in some of the top episodes and top books as far as we're talking about pertaining to Goosebumps Best Scares? So yes, I do think that this was one of the scariest and one of the best episodes and one of the best books of the book collection by R.L. Stine compared to the Goosebumps franchise. So that's all I have for you guys. I want to thank you guys once again for tuning into the show. Expect more content coming soon. So y'all already knew at the end of this video, like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to share this video. Peace.